Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be working on a knotted baby gown. Okay, I will put the description, I will put the pattern that I'm using in the description box, and I will also put the place where I got my fabric in the description box. Okay, I've already got my pattern cut out, so I'm making it long sleeve. You're going to need 2 pieces of the wrist binding cut on the fold. You're going to need 1 piece of the neck binding cut on the fold. I'm sorry, the wrist binding don't need to be on the fold. You need 2 pieces. The neck binding back, you're gonna cut 1 on the fold. Sleeve, you're gonna cut 2, and make sure you mark your notch and where they have the notch, because you're gonna need that when we start putting it together. Okay, this is a long piece. This is your hem binding. You're going to need 2 of these cut. You're going to need your front cut on the fold. And you're going to need your back cut on the fold. This is my back cut on the fold. Up at the top of the pattern, you have notches. You have places to make little slits. You have notches. Make sure you mark those, because this is a lap neck gown, and you're going to need those to line up your front and your back. Now that I have it pressed up, I'm going to take the binding and I'm going to fold it over where it just covers that stitch, and I'm going to clip it down. I'm going to do the front and back like that. Okay guys, I am so sorry. I started this video a couple of days ago, and then I had some things to come up and I had to stop. And then my husband found out accidentally erased half the video. So I'm gonna have to go back and get you caught up where I had stopped at on the other video. Okay, we have I used the cover stitch, and I put it, sew that down, my neck binding down, on the front and the back. Okay, what we're going to do now is go ahead and we're going to do all of the binding. Okay, we got our arm binding. I'm going to sew all of that. Let me take this one loose. Okay, we have the binding for our 2 sleeves, and then our binding at the binding at the bottom of the gown. I had already videotaped this. This is part of what he had erased. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take our sleeves and we're going to put them right sides together. We're going to do that for our other sleeve, and also we're going to do it the front and the back, the front and the back of our gown. And you see I've already did these because I had videotaped it before. Okay, once we serge, zigzag, ever how you're sewing it, we're going to take and press the seam down on the sleeves. Press it down. On the front and the back, the bottom, we're also going to press it down. Okay, once we get it pressed down, we're going to come back and we're going to pin up our bindings. We have everything top stitched down, the armbands, the hem band. I've also pressed it down. So now we're going to start putting it together. I'm going to move my armbands out of my way. This is when it's important for you to know which one's your front and which one's your back. Okay, I have this one that I've got as my front. So we're going to lay the front piece out. And remember those slits that we made on each side? Those are going to come in handy. Okay, lining up your notches, you're going to attach the front to the back at the shoulder seam. Your neck binding should line up with the edge because that's going to get caught in your seam. Your bottom of the top part of your front should be in the back, touching this little slit that you made. Okay, we're going to take our regular sewing machine and we're just going to make a basting stitch along here to hold it in place. So when we put our sleeves, it don't move. Don't worry about this. That's supposed to be trimmed off. I haven't trimmed it yet. I figure I'll wait until I do it with the serger and let it cut it. Okay, so we're gonna match notches. Where's my notch? Right here. With matching notches. Front notch to the back notch. The back overlaps the front. The back of your neckline should meet this little slit here. Your front, I gotta pull mine down some. Your front is gonna match this one. Now you're gonna straighten your front and back gown out. See, all I did was just do a little basting stitch real close to the edge just to hold that for me. You're gonna take and put your sleeve right side together. You're gonna match the slit up with the slit in the middle. You're gonna pin it, then go over here and pin the other side. Go over here and pin the other side. And then put you a few other pins. And then you're gonna serge it or stretch stitch it. Okay, as you're serging, you want to make sure your edges stay lined up, or as you're sewing it. You may have to stretch it, your sleeve a little bit, that's okay. Okay, now we got the sleeves sewed in. I haven't pressed my seams yet. So what we're going to do now is our last step, besides pressing and everything, and a little touch up. We're going to turn our gown right sides together. Now that we have our gown right sides together, I'm going to go through and I am going to put a few clips first. The first one I'm going to put would be down here at the cuff on the sleeve, or the binding on the sleeve. Then I'm going to match up my underarm seams, and I'm going to put a clip here. Then I'm going to go down to down here at the my binding, and I'm going to match up my binding and put a clip there. Then I'm going to go back and fill in the different areas with my clips in between my other clips. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, matching up those spots, putting clips. Once I get it all clipped, okay, once I have everything all clipped up, I'm gonna take my serger and I'm gonna sew right along here, all the way down, stopping when I get to the binding on both sides, all the way. And I make sure all of these threads are out, so when I serge it, the serger will cut it off. Still, if you don't have a serger, make sure you're using a zigzag stitch, a stretch stitch. Our gown is now finished sewing, or we have finished sewing the gown. I do have to go through and do a few cosmetic things still. And usually that consists of, I got to press it. It hasn't been ironed yet because I just finished sewing it. I also, since this is a baby, I got to go in and stamp it. I don't put tags in infants. After I press it, I like to go in and these side seams here at the sleeve, well, I got to cut all my loose threads too. I like to tack those down on both sleeves because I don't want them to that seems to irritate the baby. I will also kind of a little bit tack this down at the neck. That's just something I do. That's up to you. Okay, and here's what our finished gown looks like. Let's see if I can get far enough back where you can see it. Yeah, I was over in my workshop, so I had to come back to the house so I could let you see what the gown looks like. I didn't have a spot where I could hold it or lay it where you could see the whole gown. Like I said, it still has to be pressed. I still have to go in and cut strings, tack down the seams, press it, and stamp my size and all of my stuff. But here is the completed gown. If you have any questions, please be sure to ask. Thanks for watching. Bye.